What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and right now we're going to be talking about the best abilities to use right now. What I'm going to do for you guys is to make sure that you guys stay up to date with the abilities as it goes week to week. Unfortunately, with the game as it's tuned, a lot of abilities that you see that may work may just stop working. Alright, so that's not unusual if you're a Madden veteran and you've been around as long as I have playing this game. They've been manipulating the way that certain abilities work, and some actually just don't work. Which is the pure, it's the honest truth. So what we're going to talk about today is the defensive side, and this is for all skill levels. Okay, so you can be an MCS player, you can be whoever you want. It doesn't really matter. Or you're just getting into Madden. It's going to work regardless because, everybody understands that there's certain abilities that just work, and we can't really explain why. It just does. So we're going to start off with Ronaldo a lot. Let me first explain. I am now running a Jets theme team. For those of you guys that haven't been up to date, I have, in the past run the Raiders, and I've done a 49er theme team. Right now we're with the Jets. So you're going to notice a lot more Jet players. So what you're going to want to do on the players that play the safety, free safety, and strong safety positions, you're going to want to give them mid-zone. Why do you want to give them mid-zone? Mid-zone is still one of the more acceptable abilities to where that if the player is near the other player that's making a catch, they'll drop it. Some of you guys say, yeah, but what about Acrobat? Well, Acrobat is 2 AP. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be able to move around your abilities, this right here will make them drop it. Acrobat, if they get lucky and catch it, they're going for 6. So there's a big difference there. No, you won't get the diving pick, which is one of the rewards you get from using Acrobat, but you will almost always let them drop the ball once they make contact. So that's a very, very important ability to have because we know it's very, very easy to pass the ball in Madden 22. So he plays free safety. Cam Chancellor plays strong safety, right? So he also has mid-zone. Now, this is where it gets really, really tricky for you guys. And I got to make sure you guys thoroughly understand this. Right here, Marcus May plays corner for me in my 4-3 even. So he's going to go ahead and get flat zone. And some of you guys that are, not really understanding the discrepancies, like, okay, Gmia, what's the difference? You could give a mid-zone also instead of flat zone. Let me pretty much break it down for you, right? There's a lot of players that come out and snap throw to the halfback. You see the pros do it. You'll play a random bum that does it. It doesn't really matter. Covering the flats has been a very, very difficult task for a very, very long time for Madden players, right? This year, flat zone really takes away the advantage of throwing to the flat all the time. Now, they won't always pick it, but what it does is it allows them to stay in that area so that if the guy decides to do it, you're going to probably come away with a pick once or twice in a game that you play. Because of the fact that it kind of enhances the way that they react if it is a flat zone. Now, if you play mid-zone on the outside corners and you're running cover 2, they won't really play underneath the same way because mid-zone starts after 10 yards. You see what I'm saying? So that's the full explanation for it. Mid-zone is like 11 to 20, and I believe the deep zone is like 21 plus or something like that. It depends. Some people say it goes 11 to 25, whatever. But the mid-zone is above 10. And for some reason, it covers the majority of the field because most of the throws are usually in that area. So if you come out with flat zone KO, you're going to be giving yourself a really good chance of defending those underneath routes. All right. So both of your corners, if you're running cover 2 on the outside, should have flat zone. Another question that I get asked, okay, but what about flat zone and Acrobat? Again, depending on how you utilize your abilities, you're going to have to deal with the AP. I don't have the AP to use in that regard, so I don't recommend what I'm not using. Because if I do that, it's like, yo, but you're not doing it. You see what I'm saying? Like, what I'm showing you, I actually do, so I can account for it. Plus, you guys that watch me play live, you see the abilities work. So that's the way it works for me. Bryce Hall, 96 speed, 95 excel, 89 zone, pretty low, but we give him that flat zone, and he actually plays like a man out there. So it works out for us in that regard. Okay, so flat zone for the outside corners, mid zone for the safeties. Now, for those of you guys that don't run 4-3 or 3-4, you're gonna probably want to know what your nickel back should have and stuff like that. The nickel back, depending on how you use him, I could say that Acrobat might be best suited for a slot corner. Because if you're not blitzing him and you put him in coverage, he's usually in the area where he's gonna dive around like a moron. So that could work. If you're running around with sub linebackers, if you have a real strong safety instead of like a middle linebacker or something, you don't need lurker. But in my case, I need lurker. If you have 2 of them for like a big nickel or something, one of them doesn't need to have anything. If the other one is a zone archetype, you could probably give that sub linebacker mid zone. If you're playing around with like the dime, quarter, dollar, stuff like that, you're going to make sure that these players have abilities on them because it does increase the reaction time. All right, so now that we've done for my defense 4-3, 3-4, those are what I do with my corners and safeties. Now Eduardo Reed, he is a run stopper archetype because somebody at EA doesn't like us, so they made Lurker 2 for him. But if you do not have Lurker, he will not jump. So you need Lurker for any linebacker. Okay, if you're running 3-4-4-3, your linebackers should have Lurker. Point blank, period, end of story. Nothing to talk about. Under pressure on the outside players. Why do I use under pressure? Does it actually work? In most cases, no. And that's why I'm really firm with that no. EA is aware of it. They don't know what to... Listen, it is what it is, guys. When it does work, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm going to tell you this right now. It probably will work in your game at least once or twice for the entirety of the game. And the quarterback will throw a very, very errant pass, and it'll get picked off. But most of the time, they're right in front of the quarterback, and the quarterback will throw a deadly accurate pass. You're going to have to deal with that aspect. Like, that's just what it is. But it's still one of the better abilities because it allows you to be able to get a bad throw in the coverage. And when it works, you're picking it off. And usually, you're going for 6. So your outside guys, I would recommend under pressure. Okay, so who was my other outside guys? Let's go and take a look at it. All right, so over here, okay, why is Willie McGinnis? Where is the, okay, yeah, Myles Garrettson. Okay, over here. All right, so the outside guy, the other outside guy is Lawrence Taylor. All right, I was just trying to make sure I have all my right guys in the right spot. He's the other edge rusher. He has under pressure. After him, this is where it gets very interesting, and we've changed it up since the last video. You need inside stuff, and it's better to have 2 than to have 1. Why am I so aggravated about inside stuff? Because all of a sudden, inside zone is unstoppable. And you'll play a moron that'll come out, and he will run the ball every single play. If you do not have inside stuff, and somebody comes out running a slot and they run inside zone, GG's. If they run trips tight end and they're running inside zone, GG's. If they just run an inside zone, GG's. But not if you have inside stuff. So this is highly, highly recommended. Okay, you can try it with 1, but 2 usually stops the run completely to the inside. The outside, your user will have to take care of that. Because you don't want to use no outsiders. So that's something that you want to make sure that you understand before you get yourself involved in that situation. All right? That is very, 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 very important. All right? Now, with that being said, we now jump back over to go ahead and take a look at the X factors. So the X factors are going to be unstoppable force and universal coverage on Bryce Hall. Now the reason that I use it on Bryce Hall is because he's one of the lower end corners and he's not really that good, numbers wise. So you want to give him that advantage. If he does get a pick in the game, that people won't actually pick on him for the rest of the game because universal coverage will help you to defend any type of pass that's thrown, a slant, whatever it is, he'll be there. So that's why he has that. Unstoppable force, if the game gets crazy or you're in a stadium where you get zoned up in the zone faster, that can be a game changer to have it on your outside rushes because they shed almost instantly and it's GG's. So that's the update for the defensive side of the ball, the abilities you need to use right now, all skill levels. If you guys need an offensive video for it, let me know in the comment section and I'll get right on it for you guys. Thank you for watching and good luck out there on the gridiron. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.